President Vladimir Putin's spokesman hinting at direct talks with President Trump, saying there could be an international phone call later today.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. A Russian official said today that ceasefire plan would benefit Ukraine's military. Time's running out for Congress to avert a government shutdown by tomorrow night's deadline for funding. Republican Senator Ashley Moody tells Fox,
if this is a shutdown, it'll be the Schumer shutdown. This is completely on the hands of the Democrats.
That's after Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said they'll block the House-passed spending bill funding the government through September because Republicans did not get any Democrat input. Schumer's pushing for a 30-day funding plan
that will keep the government open and give Congress time to negotiate bipartisan legislation that can pass.
We got an update on wholesale inflation this morning. Producer prices came down on an annual rate last month. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Video of the bridge guy in the Delphi murders case posted online. A mostly sunny sky, and it's 42 degrees in the Circle City. I'm John Herrick. This report is brought to you by Window Nation. Here's what's trending at 9:02. This video posted by a website advocating for the innocence of Richard Allen. It was recorded on Libby German's cell phone, and it shows Abby Williams walking along the Monon High Bridge with the man in the distance behind the girls. The man can be heard directing the girls down the hill in the video, which was used by state police in the investigation. Allen was convicted for killing the two girls in 2017. His attorneys are appealing that conviction. A bench trial of a man accused of killing a pizza delivery driver 2 years ago in Indianapolis begins today. Justin Turner is accused of killing Steve Flynn when Flynn was delivering the pizza back on March 30th of 2023. Flynn says he was delivering the pizzas to earn extra money for his family. Cutting the state income tax could mean less of a burden for your family, but Chris Davis reports one lawmaker says both the income and property taxes should not go.
Property tax is your preferred tax then?
No, the income tax it's the most egregious tax.
Which tax do you want us to pay? I assume this bill means we want to pay more property tax.
That short argument from Graham Renbarger from Americans for Prosperity and Democratic Representative Ed Delaney over a bill that would reduce the state income tax starting in 2030. Renbarger offering testimony and calling the income tax egregious. Delaney saying we can't cut both taxes. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
$2.94 a gallon is the statewide average for gas today, says Gas Buddy. And the Big Ten men's basketball tournament continues today at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in downtown Indianapolis. Indiana plays Oregon at noon. Purdue plays later this evening against USC. That game is dependent on whenever Iowa and Illinois finish up playing. That game starts at 6:30. IU and Oregon comes up at noon. Pregame starts at 11 right here on WIBC. And with traffic now, here's Matt Bear.
Westbound 70 into North Split crash on the exit ramp to northbound 65. The left lane is blocked and traffic slow back to Emerson Avenue. On the east side, northbound 465 stop and go from 70 to 71st because of an earlier stall. 21-minute delay that should subside now that the stall has cleared. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Cold weather brings hot savings at Tom Roush Lincoln. Select 2024 Lincoln Navigators now $12,000 off and get 0% for 72 months. How about an all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus now $6,000 off with rates starting at 4.9% for 60 months. So get in on those hot savings at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Lincoln Navigator MSRP $104,825. Lincoln Nautilus MSRP $61,695. Offers good through March 31st, 2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Call today or visit bwindow.com. This month only receive $400 off per window, $850 off per patio or entry door with 2.99% financing.
Your American Standard Heating Weather Center forecast. It's mostly sunny and 43 right now. High of 72 today, 76 tomorrow. We could see some possibly severe storms Friday and Saturday. On Saturday, your high is 70. I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. 9:06, time for Kendall and Casey.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
All right, Casey, we start the show with audience participation time.
Yeah?
Everybody right now, no matter what you're doing, unless you're a motorist on the various highways and byways of the great fruited plain, stop what you're doing. Again, if you're operating heavy machinery or a vehicle, just keep your eyes open. You don't have to fully participate. But if you're not, I want you to play along with what I'm about to ask you to do. Are you ready, Casey?
I'm ready.
Close your eyes.
Okay.
Picture it, if you will. A man speaking Chinese on LSD.
Oh, no.
Attempting to explain the number one bill in the Indiana General Assembly. Because that would have been better than what we got yesterday. A man speaking Chinese on LSD would have been more coherent than Jeff Thompson was yesterday on the property tax bill.
Trying to explain Bill 1402, which is, by the way, the third proposal on property taxes. So we started out with Braun's proposal. And then it went to Senate Bill 1, which became gutted, passed over to the House, and then suddenly House Bill 1402 is injected into the conversation. Rob, let me just tell you something. Yesterday, the Ways and Means Committee hearing started at 1:30.
That's right.
I began watching it at home in Indianapolis. At one point, I texted you and I said, I got to step out for a minute.
That's right.
I got in my car, drove from Indianapolis to Plainfield, went into the Harley-Davidson dealership, did my business in there, got back into my car, drove back from Plainfield to Indianapolis, got back home. Jeff Thompson was still talking about the same thing.
Yeah, and there was a hearing on a smoking bill that maybe we can get into a little bit later on, which was equally as hilarious. Not nearly as tragic for the populace at large. Here's the thing that, okay, I would put myself in the upper 99.9% of people in this state who understand property taxes. And I sat there, and I also talked to multiple people in the media who cover this. I talked to my buddy who knows property taxes very, very well, who's one of the guys who helped me disprove the original Braun plan on the homestead credit. And you just got a universal consensus. What in the world is this guy doing? What is he saying? Like, I'm trying to give a visual for our audience of how ridiculous this was yesterday. Picture, if you could, Doc Brown from Back to the Future, minus the white overcoat, attempting. I mean, it was a disaster. It was a complete, for the guy who's supposedly the smartest guy. He's always, Jeff Thompson is the smartest guy in the State House. And he's a teacher. He's a former current. I don't know if he still teaches. If that's how he explains stuff to his kids, which is what he should have been doing yesterday. Here, we actually have audio, Casey, of the response from the House Ways and Means Committee upon Jeff Thompson explaining this to them. Would you like to hear it?
Yes, I would.
Exclusive audio from the Kendall and Casey show. These are the lawmakers, and they're like, bro, what are you doing? What are you saying? What are you talking about? It was just, I mean, it was the tax code and the takeaway when you could finally start to decipher some of what he was saying. If you were willing to put the 4 or 5 or 6 hours or whatever it ended up being, I checked out at 5:30. I was like, I gotta go. I've seen enough. You realize now the property tax laws in this state as they are written, this is an unsalvageable thing. It is. They have made it so complex. They have put one layer on top of another to attempt to appease this little group over here or that little group over there, that you can no longer make everybody happy. There's no way they're going to be able to do. You got to pick Whose side are you on? The people or the government, right? This is well, if we lift this over here, then we'll do this over there. And even the lawmakers are looking at it like, bro, what are you even English? I know people sometimes, hyperbole, shock jock. Casey, you watched that yesterday.
I did.
And I don't know if you've ever done
I just kept saying to myself, I can't. I just can't. And then I would watch some more. Oh, boy, I just can't.
This is your government. The average person that would have no ability whatsoever to understand what they saw yesterday, something that will dramatically impact every person in this state. And Jeff Thompson, I don't know if he was speaking in tongues. Casey, I don't know if you've ever done LSD. You don't. No. Okay. I don't know if anyone in this room has ever done LSD, but I know shock jock, hyperbole, whatever. I'm telling you, you could have taken a man from China, put him on a boat, given him some LSD. Is that the correct phrase? Given him some LSD?
Sure.
It dropped some LSD.
Right.
I've never done the drugs. I don't know. But you could have put him on LSD and then said in your native language, start talking, and it would have made as much sense to the average person as what they saw yesterday. That was an abomination. Jeff Thompson should be ashamed of himself. But then, Casey, once we finally, after however long it took, start to decipher what was going on in this monstrosity that he's created, we realized not only are there no tax cuts for most people in the bill, so you don't save anything, but your taxes actually keep going up.
Right. Well, that's the thing about his plan. It would have the smallest impact on schools, provides growth for local units, but give limited relief to homeowners. And in fact, small tax increases in the future.
This sounds crazy to say. Senate Bill 1 is a much better bill than what you saw yesterday because your taxes,
At least you can understand Senate Bill 1.
Sure, and there's all sorts of new tax increase options for local governments in this bill. So not only do you not get the savings, do we have the clip of J.D. Prescott asking him directly?
To simplify it for homeowners.
Yeah, he just said, bro, speak English and tell us where the tax cut is, what is the savings, and he could not do it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fun trying to follow your mind as you're walking through these and explaining things. I know you've spent a lot of time in this topic, and I think I'm right there with you in the thought process and the direction you're wanting to go with this. But at the same point, we could try and simplify this for the homeowners that are watching, for those, local elected officials that are watching. I understand the direction you're going, but for just an average homeowner, $300,000 home, for example, could you kind of walk through what they would expect to see on their tax bills over the next 5 years as this phases in?
The best thing is probably go to the fiscal note.
Pause. He should have this simplified to the point of, if you're in a $300,000 home in a thriving suburban community, you can expect your taxes to go down blank. That's how you have to explain this. See, it's like they just forget there's an entire state watching this. There's an entire state tuned into this. Go to the fiscal note. We don't have the fiscal note.
Right.
We're watching you on television.
As he's gesturing below the table and above the table.
Yes, I mean, I'm telling you, picture Doc Brown from Back to the Future, this mad scientist guy up there speaking Chinese on LSD. That's what we got yesterday. Go, Kev, go.
Note. And that is on page of the fiscal note I have, is it page 5. And that's probably the starting point. But I do want to emphasize one thing that's, and again, LSA does a wonderful job. I'm so pleased. The part that's probably, I don't want to say misleading, that's not fair, but you see their homeowners in this 27 and 28 go up.
Wait, what was that?
So right there, he will not answer where the tax is, because it doesn't exist. Your taxes will not go down. But he did say right there, and again, talk about being ill-prepared. If you're going to peddle this level of bull crap, wouldn't you at least come in prepared, have the talking points, lie to us better? They have so little respect. Thompson has so little respect for us now. He's not even bothering to come up with a plan to lie to us effectively. He just said it right there.
It's going to go up.
Kev, can you remind that, I don't know, 5 seconds, just to make sure everybody hears the same thing we hear?
And again, LSA does a wonderful job. I'm so pleased. The part that's probably, I don't want to say misleading. That's not fair. But you see their homeowners in the 27 and 28 go up.
Oh.
And that's because property tax replacement credits, those, and we're working on some other ways to do that, that is repealed. And so that's making the assumption now that everybody lets all those go up and they don't do anything with the other avenues with a local property tax. Or local income tax. Local income tax, property tax replacement credits go away in the bill. And that's what causes that distortion. Okay, but you've got a whole lot of moving parts with you.
He turned into Mr. Mackey from South. The drugs. Somebody should ask Jeff Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Were you on any hallucinogens yesterday before you went out there?
I can't even imagine. You're an average homeowner, $300,000 home. You're at the grocery store and somebody says, hey, can you explain the property tax plan that Jeff Thompson is proposing? No. Absolutely not.
And I'm telling you, and we'll have Nikki Kelly on later today to talk about this and some other bills. We'll ask her because she's done this for 25 plus years. Because I talked to multiple people in the media who were covering this who would have a much higher level of acumen for this than the person on the street. Think about this. One of the highest taxes, if not the highest tax you pay in this state, and it affects your home, it affects the government and the communities in which you live. And this is the garbage that guy brought yesterday. Texas, are you understand? You know, the lit and good.
Can we let it roll for just another minute?
Sure.
Because I want to get to another great part in this clip.
And that's what causes that distortion. Okay, but you've got a whole lot of moving parts with your 1%, 2%, and 3% properties, don't you? And we're going to come with some more fixes. This will not be, if the committee wants to adopt the final version of the amendment, it'll be changed. And I know that. I'm going to learn more today in the next couple hours.
Okay.
Pause. And I know we're going way longer than this. He's going to learn more today. Bro, Mike Braun has been the Republican nominee for governor for 9 months now. You knew this was his top priority. He won in a landslide in November. That was 5 months ago, and you're still learning?
Yes.
You had 5 months, and in between, I'm gonna learn more today.
This is an amendment hearing, and he's still crafting the amendment. Roll it, Kevin.
Mr. Chairman, can you repeat that answer to Representative Prescott?
That's awesome. He answers, and then they're like, "Can you repeat that answer?"
All right, we'll take a break. Do we have the increase, the decrease, or decrease the increase?
We have
okay. Yeah, there's even more ridiculousness from this. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna pay some bills. And then we'll come back with some more property tax discussion.
You sound like Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which I thought it was Ben Stein the whole time. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
No matter where you head on your commute, Matt Bear is there. Paris.
Les Champs-Élysées sont un véritable parking ce matin.
Warsaw.
W drodze do pracy, wyjdź trochę wcześniej.
Or Brazil.
Temos bisbilhotice no Rio de Janeiro. Não haja como turista.
Matt, these are all cities in Indiana.
Oh, that makes my job easier.
Making your commute easier. Matt Bear Traffic. Mornings and afternoons on 93 WIBC.
Best decision I ever made was having Window Nation windows installed in my house, saving me a bunch of money on energy. My old windows were cracked and drafty and letting the air through. Window Nation came in and took care of all that within a day. And you know what? Window Nation windows are high quality and affordable. Right now, you can get 2 windows free with every 2 you buy. And you can get 0 interest and 0 payments for 2 years. Pay nothing until 2027.
This is the deal you want. 2 windows for free with every 2 that you buy. Plus, 0 interest, 0 payments for 2 years. Pay nothing until 2027. Call a representative at Window Nation right now. They will walk you through the entire process. 866-90-NATION. Get that fast, free estimate right now with Window Nation. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com.
Hi, I'm Charlie Comer from Comer & Cross Premium Garage Floor Coatings. When your garage floor has stains, cracks, and pits, it makes your whole garage look bad. And a bad epoxy job looks even worse. Look, spring will be here on March 20th. For your best price of the year on your new garage floor, basement, or patio and installation this spring, please call me now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Guaranteed, a Comer & Cross concrete floor coating won't chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. In one day, we make it so easy. We move your stuff out for you. We fix the cracks and pits perfectly. And apply your gleaming new Comer & Cross concrete floor in 6 stages, just in time for spring. For your best price of the year on your new garage floor, basement, or patio and installation by spring, please call me now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to COMERcross.com.
Big Joe here. You've heard me talk about Absolute Comfort and the Mitsubishi electric ductless mini splits for years. This energy-efficient way to heat and cool your home is a game changer. These systems are smart and can detect when someone is in the room and adjust to your activity. Visit Absolute Comfort at the Flower and Patio Show, booth 382 in the West Pavilion across from the Beer Garden. Ask for Jeremy or Chris to answer all your questions. Absolute Comfort, your trusted American Standard Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless Pro dealer.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse opens March 19th. That's right, PA Jewelers, formerly inside Premier Arms, now has its own location at the Farmhouse. Built in 1888, an incredible setting that's going to have all of your jewelry needs. Gold, diamonds, gemstones, rare pieces, estate pieces, wedding rings, engagement rings, everything you want in one place. Open March 19th. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse. Go to pajewelers.jewelry to get more information. That's pajewelers.jewelry.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, and AI? Attend classes live online or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
I woke up this morning with the sun down, shining in.
That's very well done, Kevin. That was the takeaway yesterday. A Chinese-speaking man on LSD is now more coherent than the quote-unquote smartest man in the State House, Jeff Thompson. And that was the property tax bill yesterday.
Who sounds a little bit like Mr. Mackey from South Park.
That is, what an insult to the people of this state that clown had 5 months to come up with something to help people. And he comes up with this 200-page abomination that even the people on his committee were looking at him like, bro, are you talking in hieroglyphics? Even the people on this committee, on the tax committee, are like, what are you doing? This conversation is so simple at this point. If I were Mike Braun, I would stroll out today and I would say, everybody just clear your calendars for May. There's no way you guys are coming up with anything meaningful based on what we saw in Senate Bill 1 and what we heard yesterday.
It's a mess.
Just clear your calendars for May, and we'll just plan on the special session, and that way everybody can book their hotel rooms or whatever else y'all got to do, because that was damn ridiculous yesterday, Casey, that they let that guy, and look, I get that there's decorum and rules, but the fact that not one of those people stood up and said, you have insulted every single person in this state by wasting their time with this nonsensical gobbledygook, and then you're out here like Doc Brown, Marty, we got to be back by midnight. Except it was Representative Prescott, we got to change the lit and the low it. And like it was you realize, and the takeaway from this is they're not trying to actually help you at all. In fact, their version of helping you is just decreasing the amount of increase you play in the future. That's their version of helping you. They think they're doing you some, screw you and all the increases you've had the past 4 years. They're not interested helping you at all. In fact, I think he even used those words, didn't he?
Yes.
Not screw you, I'm not interested in helping you, but his goal is to decrease the increase.
Yep, it won't increase as much.
Yeah, so instead of the savings of 146.9, they're just not going to increase 146.9. Is that what you're saying in the homestead?
For which year?
Estimated net on page 5 at the top.
Right. And I'm sorry, which year?
So 2026.
Yes.
Okay.
In place of going up around $300 million, it will go up about $150 million. It's a decrease in an increase. That's how you have to read that note.
Pause.
Okay.
It's a decrease in the increase, Casey.
It's still an increase, Rob.
Yes, it is. And then in this little warped, this is the guy in charge of the money.
Mm-hmm.
He's the head of Ways and Means. He controls the flow of money in the state of Indiana. This is the supposedly, think about how stupid some of these people must be if that's the smartest guy in the state house. Oh, Jeff Thompson, he's brilliant. His level of intellect is off the charts. Well, he can't human, Casey. He proved yesterday he cannot human, which is speak in an articulate language, English, our native language here. Apparently he didn't get the memo that Trump says everybody's speaking English now.
So they're talking about phasing out certain homestead deductions. And you had mentioned, I thought he was a teacher. He even mentions that.
But I might start what I think is the most important part of this bill. And that is trying to...
It's number 5, Kevin. It's okay. But he even mentions his wife told him maybe he should slow down and explain this better.
How did you talk to students? No wonder the public education system's in the condition it is. If this guy talking like that is how kids were supposed to be able to learn. So, all right, we'll get into this more a little bit next hour. By the way, we're only here for 2 hours today. But
oh, that's right.
Yeah, we're only here for 2 hours
Thursday.
today.
I forgot. Matt even sent us an email, and I did a full template anyway.
Yeah, so we'll get into
We're going to get it all in.
Next hour. We'll get back into this a little bit more. But at this point, I will leave you with this. Senate Bill 1 is actually largely okay, other than it doesn't help the current increases. Like the growth cap stuff is fine if there's a fix on the current increases. The referendum language stuff, if you're going to have it, is fine. All we need to have a conversation about right now is whose side are we on, the people or the government? That should be the conversation in Ways and Means. They should have taken that Senate Bill 1 and said, we have one debate in front of us right now. Are we going to screw the people of this state because local governments won't get their act together and want to live in a life of grandiose excess and keep the Senate Bill 1 as a status quo? Or do we want to stand up for the people and do these resets? That is the only conversation that should have taken place. Now, I have no idea what the conversation is, and neither does anybody down the street from us.
It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
What a day.
You're working too hard.
We're both working too hard, with even less to show for it.
What's this?
It's the bills for Tracy's procedure.
This is outrageous.
I know. And Mom just said her prescriptions went up again.
How can working people afford this?
These medical bills are crushing our finances, and these hospitals and insurance groups are making record profits.
You know, I read Indiana has the 9th highest healthcare costs in the nation, and prescription drug costs are out of control.
That's why I voted for Mike Braun. He has a plan to reform Indiana's broken healthcare system. Braun's plan calls for billing transparency, increased access, and lower costs for all Hoosiers.
I hear you. It's good to know help is on the way. Mike Braun's plan will offer real relief for our family budget.
Sign the petition for Braun's healthcare plan at HoosierHope.org. Join Mike Braun's fight for healthcare reform today. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What he says you need to be most concerned about. Mostly sunny and 43 degrees in downtown Indy. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 9:30. Severe weather likely to arrive in Indiana tomorrow.
The highest threat is along the west of I-65 for all modes of severe weather, but damaging winds above 60 to 70 miles per hour, that's going to be the most common threat.
Cody Moore with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says some of those wind gusts could reach 50 miles an hour, and that could lead to power outages. U.S. leaders are headed to Moscow to talk about a possible ceasefire with Ukraine. Ukraine agreed to a 30-day ceasefire in its fight against Russia, who invaded the sovereign nation about 3 years ago. In Washington, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte is scheduled to visit Trump at the White House today. Rutte has said he supports President Trump's initiative to end the conflict. Pope Francis is spending the 12th anniversary of his election as Pope in the hospital. The pontiff has been hospitalized in Rome for nearly a month fighting pneumonia, but the Vatican says tests have shown that the Pope's condition is improving. And your opening bell report on 93 WIBC is brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. Not a good start to the stock market today. The Dow is down 27 points at 41,368. The S&P 500 down 8 points at 5,596. And the NASDAQ is down 54 points to 19,564. I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
We all have people in our lives we interact with. Maybe it's your favorite barista, a neighbor who waves to you every morning, a coworker you grab lunch with, or maybe it's me, the hairstylist you've gone to for years. What if you learned I had a substance use disorder? Would it change how you see me? It's okay to see the addiction, but when you choose to see the person, not just their disease, it can help change someone's life. Learn more at cbeyondtheaddiction.org.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. You know, as we just laid out, you're getting totally screwed on your property taxes. But somewhere you can save money is with your windows and Universal Windows Direct's tax time sale. Save big while making your home more comfortable and energy efficient. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and there's no limit. You know how to do this, right? You know how to do math. Even if Jeff Thompson was your teacher, you'll probably get this. Need 4, you only pay for 2. Oh, come on, Casey, that was really funny, and you're not even laughing. Need 20, pay for 10. And here's something that'll make your wallet even happier. Pay no interest until 2030. That's right. No interest with Universal Windows Direct for the next 6 years, making it easier than ever to afford the quality windows your home needs. But wait, there's even more. This month only, Universal Windows Direct is giving you an extra $500 off your home improvement project. Now, some restrictions may apply, so to get all the details and schedule your free in-home estimate, call Universal Windows Direct today, 317-659-7574, 317-659-7574. See everything for yourself on the web, universalwindowsdirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
I'll say this. There are no entries in the Hoops Fan Hall of Fame who didn't show up to the game. Yes, you in the back.
Professor, March Madness is coming to Indianapolis. Are we ready?
You prepared to bring the fire? Give it 110 from tip to the final buzzer? Oh, you're ready. The NCAA Sweet 16 and Elite 8, March 28th and 30th in Indianapolis. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/MVB tickets. Class dismissed.
Hey, Bill, where you been? You're overdue for a haircut.
Man, listen, my water pipes burst and flooded my house. Place a mess. I've been staying with my daughter till I can figure out what to do.
You trying to fix it and move back in?
No way. It's too big a mess. It'll cost me tens of thousands of dollars. I ain't got that kind of money.
You trying to sell it then?
Well, that's what I'd like to do, but who's going to buy my house in this condition?
Did you call Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters bought our house when we were in a jam. We needed to move real quick. They closed fast and gave us cash.
Simple Quarters will buy in any condition?
That's right. They buy as is. You don't have to repair anything or clean anything out. It's simple.
What do I have to do?
Just call them. They'll do a quick walkthrough, then they'll make you an offer.
Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to help people in difficult situations. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME. Check us out at simplequarters.com.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
Casey, we got a little, we got an added bonus yesterday.
Yeah, are you talking about Senate bill, what was it, 453?
I think that was the number for
Yeah.
it. So Casey and I were obviously trying to watch this property tax hearing, and they say it starts at 1:30, but it's like a concert where there was a build-up. You know, the opening band is some band you've never heard of, and then the bills just keep like getting more interesting in the lead up to the main event. So you'll stick around.
I thought I was watching Shark Tank, honestly.
So one of the bills that they're hearing in this lead up to Senate Bill, well, I guess this was House Bill 1402, but the is this bill, and I had no idea it was going to be this interesting. And by interesting, I mean it was also a complete dumpster fire. And what is amazing to me is how these bills make it to these lawmakers, and they have no idea what the actual bill is. They have no idea what it says or what it does, because we saw this. Look, I'm going to give them a pass on the property tax bill, because I think there's one person in the world that knows what that bill does, and that was old Doc Brown that was up there yesterday trying to explain it. I don't think anybody else did. But this other bill related to tobacco.
Right.
And it was this
heated tobacco products.
Okay, can you explain that? Do you know what that is?
A heated tobacco product?
Like, what is that, right? Is that Kev, anybody? I mean, this is the problem, and I'm not paid to understand this, but these lawmakers are paid to understand this, and they didn't get it either. Do you know what a heated does anyone? This is the problem. The whole thing was a dumpster fire from trying to explain what it is, how it works. Kev.
I'm reading that heated tobacco products are tobacco products that heat the tobacco at a lower temperature than conventional cigarettes.
Okay, yes, thank you. Perfect. That's the explanation I needed. So this guy gets up. He's one of these mega companies, right? And he's saying, we want a special tax break for this thing. We want it to be treated in a certain manner of taxation because it's good for the consumer to get them off of cigarettes. It's one of these products that is apparently less dangerous, less addictive, and will
still going to deliver nicotine. It just does it in a non-combustible way.
Right. So this bill has already cleared the Senate, and old man Holdman, who they had to wake him up from another nap, was apparently the guy that was in charge of this one too. So he stumbles out of there after his, I don't know if he was in his midday stories watching The Young and the Restless or Days of Our Lives or what he was doing, but he appeared as equally disinterested in this bill as he did the property tax bill a week ago. And so they drag him over there. I don't know if they have to wheel him over, if he can actually still walk or what. But I mean, sounding half awake, he's presenting this bill. And they start asking him, keep in mind, this bill's already cleared the Senate, right? You've already voted for this thing. This thing is already through your people, right? And I think it overwhelmingly passed. So these lawmakers are doing a pretty good job. They're asking him questions about this. And at one point, Case, he just kind of goes, I don't know, but there's a bunch of lobbyists who could explain it to you.
So here's somebody from Philip Morris. Come on down.
This is the head of the head tax guy. So on the House, we got a man who is less coherent than someone speaking Chinese and LSD in Jeff Thompson. And in the Senate, we've got some guy who always sounds like he's half awake, who apparently knows so little about what he's doing that he's like, I don't know. Some lobbyists could answer the question. The lobbyists are just in charge at the Indiana General Assembly. Holdman admitted that yesterday. Me have no idea.
I don't know.
Ask lobbyists.
Ask this paid representative here for his billion-dollar company
and I'm
to
sure,
tell you what he wants.
I'm sure the lobbyists gave a very fair presentation when they wrote that bill because clearly the dude in charge admitted he didn't do it because he's like, I don't know, man. Some lobbyists can answer the questions for you.
So the lobbyist was there, and he was testifying in support of a tax break for HTP manufacturers. And that went into, it was, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. They had all this discussion, big presentation from this lobbyist from Philip Morris about this product. And finally, and I don't remember who it was, somebody said, this has all been very fascinating, and I'm glad that we're, learning about this product, but can we get back to the bill? The bill is about taxation.
Right.
What class this product was going to be taxed at.
It was Peggy Mayfield who did that.
Is that who it was?
And this is the second time we've seen this now, where these guys just get on these just discussions that have nothing to do with what's in front of them. But what I find fascinating is, okay, so you have this product, and they act like the guy that got up act like he's running a soup kitchen over there, like we're in it for the public. No, you're in it to make money,
right?
And they started kind of grilling him and like, what are you going to do? Not sell this here if we don't give you this special tax exemption. But the point of it's not even the product itself, right? I would have, based on the information. By the way, it was much more coherent than the conversation than we had about property
taxes. Yes, it was.
As vague as this thing kind of was, because these lawmakers are like, now, how does this work? What does this do?
Mm-hmm.
So we're having a hearing. You don't have any idea what it is. You don't have any idea what it does. You have to have the guy explain it to you how it works, and you're supposed to be voting on it. I would have, based on the information yesterday, told that guy, kiss my ass, and you're going to pay taxes the same way everybody else pays taxes.
The debate was they were wondering if this HTP, a heated tobacco product, is subject to cigarette tax. The lobbyist was there trying to say this isn't technically a cigarette, but according to the Constitution in Indiana, it's just the way you define a cigarette. Yeah, it is a cigarette because it's a heated tobacco product, but we don't want it to be taxed the same way.
Yeah.
We want it to be at a lower tax rate.
And of course, he wants the best for his company, right? He's trying to get the most amount of, or pay the least amount of money. I get that. But for me, what everybody needs to realize is that this is why your finances are in the shape it's in. This is why you don't get tax reform. This is why you don't get tax cuts. This is why we're spending, that we've got a $46.7 billion budget, and they want to make you, by the way, there was a fraction of a percent of an income tax increase that has been proposed, so don't spend that $50 all in one place, right? The state gets $46.7 billion. Your local governments get $9 billion. You might get $50 back if you're lucky. But the point is, between Thompson and Holdman, this is why you're not getting anything productive. Where one guy is speaking a foreign language that 3,000 years from now, somebody's going to unearth him like we have the Egyptians and been like, what does that say? What does that mean? What are you doing? That's Thompson. And then Sleepy McGee over here, Travis Holdman, his response is, ask the lobbyist. Do you think the lobbyist has your best interest at heart as a taxpayer? Do you think the lobbyist cares about you at all? No, the lobbyist cares about their client, and lobbyists are running the show over there.
So this SB 453, it's about various tax matters, and besides the heated tobacco products, one other thing that it does is it amends the college savings tax credit. It replaces the term College Choice 529 Education Savings Plan with the phrase Indiana 529 Plan. I mean, they're like, that's what they're spending their time on.
It's rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. All right, so
that's what it is.
What's going on with Trump and the tariffs? Can we talk about that next? Because now he's mad about alcohol.
Oh, yeah, the price of booze. That's what he's on to now. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel's show, 3:06 this afternoon. Big Nige is back. Rob Kendall, off the rails on property taxes. The biggest stories in Indy. Let's go.
Whether you're preparing for retirement, navigating a life transition, or simply wondering if you're on the right path, Howard Bailey Financial is here to help. Together, we'll work on a personalized plan designed to bring greater clarity to your goals and help you approach decisions with confidence. It's not just about numbers, it's about the life you want to lead and the legacy you want to leave behind. With over 20 years of experience, Howard Bailey Financial has been dedicated to guiding individuals as they work toward taking control of their financial future and finding peace of mind. Text PATH to 888-262-1104 to download a free retirement toolkit and start planning for the retirement you've dreamed of. Howard Bailey Financial, helping you turn hope into a plan and dreams into reality. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Health gives you the ability to love more, feel more, be more. Health gives you the ability to live an extraordinary life. Because every day, no matter the challenges, is a chance to breathe, laugh until your belly aches, cry because you care so much, and experience everything that makes your life truly extraordinary. For 150 years, Franciscan Health has been there, watching extraordinary lives unfold. Love your extraordinary life.
Dads happen.
There's a whole lot of stuff that can mess up the look of your vehicle. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal. PDR is paintless dent removal that saves your factory finish and is way less invasive than traditional body shop repairs. And it's faster too, sometimes same day. Google Kill a Dent Removal and check out the reviews and photos. Then schedule your repair. Hail baseballs, kids, fender benders, shopping carts, flying cows, angry X's, and anything else that leaves dents. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today. Today.
Discover cancer care that empowers you at Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center with leading-edge treatment options right in your backyard.
I feel blessed and lucky. If I knew someone that was going through what I was going through, I would definitely encourage them to participate in a clinical trial. For me, it was life-changing.
Learn more at ecommunity.com/cancer.
During tax season, your info travels lots of places you can't control.
W-2 arriving from payroll platform 3.
Everything criminals need to steal your identity is on your W-2.
Last call for accountant and home office, 1 minute.
LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second.
Tax preparation data centers with service to IRS. All aboard.
If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Listen to Hammer and Nigel this week for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Cyndi Lauper with Jake Wesley Rogers on Thursday, August 7th at Ruoff Music Center.
More info online at WIBC.com.
I can't believe you didn't remember we'd have a third hour of the show today.
I know, I can't believe that either.
It's pretty rare that I'm better prepared than you.
I know, and you didn't say anything to me either.
Why,
you just let me prepare a third hour, didn't you?
Oh, is it on the template?
Yes.
Oh.
Which, wait a minute. You didn't read the template.
Hey, it's a day that ends in Y. Welcome to the show, right?
You knew we were going to be talking about that Ways and Means Committee hearing, and that's all you focused on.
Well,
you're like texting me, get this clip, knowing that I'm getting us all prepared.
God bless our bosses. It took them about six years, but then they've because for years and years they're like, we gotta get a handle on this guy, right? Like he does everything wrong the way you would traditionally teach people to do radio. And then finally, about 2 years ago, our boss was just like, I don't know why you're successful. I don't know how. It defies all logic, but
whatever.
Just let him go. And now our staff, our weekly show meetings are like 20 minutes. Hey, great job. You're number one again. Keep up the good work.
Keep it up. So President Trump is threatening a 200% tariff on alcohol products in the EU if they don't immediately remove their 50% tariff on whiskey.
Okay, so I didn't know we were fighting with them now. I thought we were fighting with Canada and Mexico and China. It is, there used to be those movies and stuff, So-and-so versus the world. It has turned into U.S. versus the world, and it seems like we're now finding people to engage in new things with. Shouldn't we win? I'm just thinking from a traditional battlefield perspective, shouldn't we win one war and then go to the next war? It seems like we're fighting a lot of battles at the same time, and I don't know. I don't see how that lowers my prices, which is what I was told would happen.
Yeah.
Can you explain that to me? Kev, you can hop in on this too if you want. How increasing the amount that it costs somebody to send something to me is going to lower my prices.
Say that again?
How increasing what it costs someone to send something to me, which is what a tariff is, it's increasing the amount it costs to send something into this country, how that's going to lower my prices.
You're supposed to buy American products.
Well, okay,
that's his answer.
But okay, so in this case, now I'm not allowed to have the thing that I want.
You're missing out on all the champagne from France?
Well, it's not so much the champagne; it's the whiskey. I think that is more right. That's the big one. That's the one he's coming. I'm not being facetious when I'm asking this. The guy ran on cutting prices for everyone. He ran on, which he should have. Things are totally out of control. Thus far, the budget that they have proposed will further blow a hole in the debt, the nation's debt, the annual deficit, which will not help inflation, which will keep prices higher. And these tariffs are costing companies more to send things into the country, which will not only keep prices at their current high level, but raise them. So how is he going to lower my prices, which is what he campaigned on?
Yeah.
I'm totally willing to hear.
This is a threat. Don't you think?
But he's already done it. He's already done the tariffs. We had Threat-a-Palooza, and then he did it.
Some of the threats he's done, the ones on Canada and Mexico, China. This, I believe, is just a threat to the EU. He hasn't done it yet. He's just threatening to do it.
Okay, but now we've moved past the tariffs being control of the southern and northern borders, right? Because initially, that's how he sold it. And I thought that was great. The first month, hey, good for you.
It's not just fentanyl.
Right. We are going to solve this issue, and we're going to put everything out there. And that's what this is about. Great. No problem with that whatsoever. I'm willing to pay more to stop kids from dying and illegal immigrants coming into the country, dangerous people. I'm willing to do that. But now we've pivoted into, like, what is the EU? I mean, what do they have to do with fentanyl? Is the EU the origin? I thought China was the origin of the fentanyl.
Right.
And I get the China stuff too. I'm not necessarily mad about that. But that doesn't seem to be the thing anymore. We've pivoted out of that, and now we're fighting about whiskey. What is whiskey killing a bunch of children? Are a bunch of teens dying from Russian whiskey?
It's Tariff-palooza is what's going on.
All right, so he wrote a tweet about this. Now, I'm not doing I Will Always Love You anymore on this, because I don't think that this is not...
You're not agreeing with this?
Well, I'm not... I need to be... Explain this to me. Like, explain this to the American public like we're 5 years old on why you're doing this and how this lowers prices.
Maybe we can get Jeff Thompson on it.
Those two guys should have a competition. All right, if we could do the mail, I got to do some sort of background. So we just, I guess we'll just do hate mail because he seems to be really hating the EU. So we decided we go with that.
Okay.
All right. Is that good?
Yeah.
Very good. The European Union, one of the most hostile and abusive taxing and tariffing countries, I didn't even know tariffing was a word, tariffing countries in the world, which was formed for the sole purpose of taking advantage of the United States, has just put a nasty 50% tariff on whiskey. If this tariff is not removed immediately, the U.S. will shortly place a 200% tariff on all wines, champagnes, and alcoholic products coming out of France and other EU-represented countries. This will be great for the wine and champagne businesses in the U.S.
Wasn't Macron just here, by the way? Like, couldn't they have discussed that when he was here?
Shouldn't you have discussed this with him then? Maybe? I don't know. I mean, I'm open to hearing this. I'm just not hearing it. And I heard somebody was getting into this yesterday. I think one of Tony's guests was talking about this. Or maybe it was Tony Kennett's guest. I can't remember. The shows all run together. But somebody was saying the same thing, which is it's not being articulated properly on what you're doing, what you're trying to accomplish, and when you will deem it successful. And until he does that, he's hurting himself at this point, because public opinion has already, when there's some poll out that showed.
Oh yeah, that CNN poll that said 56% of people have a negative feeling towards his handling of the economy.
Right, and I'm not super concerned about the stock market, because stock market goes up, it goes down, it's over time, it goes, it will go back up again. I'm not concerned about that, because unless you're cashing out that day, that's largely of irrelevance to you. But I am concerned about the price of stuff and how these things are going to ultimately lower the price. All the stuff he's doing economically. The border stuff is fine. The Ukraine stuff is fine. But economically, which is really 1A or 1B on why he was elected, I don't see how the printing all the money, the spending all the money, or these tariffs are accomplishing his price-lowering goals.
He said this will be great for the wine and champagne businesses in the U.S. I believe technically champagne is only champagne. if it comes from a certain region in France.
Oh, well.
It could be a
la-di-da.
champagne-like product.
La-di-da.
It's not technically champagne.
All right, we'll continue to take a dump on Jeff Thompson when we come back.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through May 4th, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months. And ask how to get free installation on qualifying bundles. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires enrollment and paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After 24 months, regular rates apply.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text ENERGY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text ENRGY to 42424. That's ENERGY to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
One of the real advantages that we have here at Hendricks is the scope of the services that we have to offer in orthopedics.
Whether they have a hip fracture or they're a high-functioning athlete, we're all working towards the same thing.
To have them be able to have an elective surgery safely and then go home also in a safe fashion is of utmost importance.
We very much want everyone to get back to doing everything that they were doing beforehand. We're really invested in it.
Unstoppable orthopedic care. Learn more at hendricks.org/ortho.
Cold weather brings hot savings at Tom Roush Lincoln. Select 2024 Lincoln Navigators now $12,000 off and get 0% for 72 months. How about an all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus now $6,000 off with rates starting at 4.9% for 60 months. So get in on those hot savings at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Lincoln Navigator MSRP $104,825. Lincoln Nautilus MSRP $61,695. Offers good through March 31st, 2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Big Joe here. You've heard me talk about absolute comfort and the Mitsubishi electric ductless mini splits for years. This energy-efficient way to heat and cool your home is a game changer. These systems are smart and can detect when someone is in the room and adjust to your activity. Visit Absolute Comfort at the Flower and Patio Show, booth 382 in the West Pavilion across from the Beer Garden. Ask for Jeremy or Chris to answer all your questions. Absolute Comfort, your trusted American Standard Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless Pro dealer.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, what you can expect from the upcoming weather, what the city of Indianapolis says they're adding in terms of trash, and how what you're paying in income taxes could change. Those stories and more after Fox News on 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis, and it's now 10 o'clock.
The entire world is ripping us off. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump just posted on Truth Social, writing the U.S. doesn't have free trade, we have stupid trade. Also reacting to tariffs from Canada and the European Union in retaliation for new U.S. tariffs on steel and aluminum imports.
The president says if the EU doesn't remove a 50% tariff on American whiskey, the U.S. will place a 200% tariff on wines, champagnes, and alcohol products coming out of EU countries, while President Trump says this will, quote, be great for the wine and champagne businesses in the U.S.
Fox's Ryan Schmel, Secretary of State Marco Rubio on the front lines of the trade war in Canada for talks with our allies at a G7 summit. They'll also talk real war. Days after Ukraine agreed to a U.S.-backed 30-day ceasefire, Russia has responded for the first time today, saying
the deal would only help Ukrainian forces to regroup, calling the ceasefire proposal a, quote, temporary timeout for Ukrainian soldiers and nothing more. This morning, U.S. Envoy Steve Witkoff landed in Moscow to have talks with the Russians about that ceasefire proposal.
Fox's Brian Yennis at the G7 summit in Quebec. President Trump needs to find the new CDC director. He's just withdrawn David Weldon's nomination, reportedly because he didn't have enough support for Senate confirmation. Now, the government could shut down soon. Funding runs out tomorrow night, and Republicans will blame Democrats, who plan to block the House-passed spending plan. But Congresswoman Grace Meng supports that filibuster.
House Republicans passed a government funding bill that hands President Trump and Elon Musk a blank check.
Democrats are trying to block Musk and Doge from slashing federal jobs and spending. And another lawsuit's just been filed today by 20 state attorneys general trying to block the Trump effort to dismantle the Department of Education with mass layoffs. Another inflation update this morning shows an easing last month. Like consumer prices yesterday, the annual rate of inflation at the wholesale level declined in February, down to 3.2%, less than January. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's not just the storms. Sunny with a clear radar right now, 47 degrees on Monument Circle. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 10:02. One thing you'll want to watch out for on Friday night, no matter where you are in Indiana, is the winds.
It's going to be very windy. Going into Friday and Friday evening, we're going to have wind gusts 40, 50 miles per hour way ahead of these storms anyway. So you're going to notice a difference in the weather.
And Cody Moore with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says most of the storms will come in during the overnight hours. A man who was shot outside a hotel in Indianapolis on the south side on Wednesday morning has died. He was found in the parking lot with a gunshot wound, later died at a hospital. Police are searching for suspects. The city of Indianapolis will have a new trash collection vendor next year. The contract with Lakeshore Recycling Systems was approved on Wednesday. They'll start service January 1st of 2026. The new service provider also expected to have universal curbside recycling. That is scheduled to begin in 2028. You could be paying less income tax starting in 2030 if Indiana's economy does not slip significantly. Chris Davis reports on the arguments in favor and against cutting it.
It's one of the most egregious taxes that you can tax.
Our 3.05 rate is causing pain.
Yeah.
Graham Renbarger with Americans for Prosperity and Representative Ed Delaney during House Ways and Means Committee testimony on the bill that would reduce state income tax beginning in 2030.
This is a person's time that they take away from their family. This is talent that they've developed over the course of their lifetime. This is a skill set.
Delaney was rebuffed by one member of the committee for a comparison between income tax and property tax, which is a big issue now because the money goes to two different places. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The Indiana Pacers still riding the high of Tyrese Halliburton's memorable shot against Milwaukee on Tuesday, but Halliburton says they have to keep up the effort.
There's only so many games left that can really control, seeding. Detroit's right there with us. Milwaukee's right there with us. So, we got to be better.
Indiana has Philadelphia tomorrow on the road before they head out to Milwaukee to face the Bucks again on Saturday. I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. 10:04, Kendall and Casey coming back in 1 minute.
When is the right time to file for Social Security? Well, that's a difficult decision today. You have to consider that Social Security is running out of money. You also need to consider the tax hit on your benefits and your IRA and 401k withdrawals. And finally, you should consider your spousal benefits. If you don't consider all these things, you could leave a lot of money on the table.
Bill Demery, your retirement guy. He's going to show you how you could get the most income from Social Security with a free, customized Social Security analysis. So if you've saved more than $200,000, but you've not yet filed for Social Security, Schedule your free analysis right now by calling Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, my retirement guy. He should be your retirement guy. 317-648-5120.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Casey.
Yeah, Rob.
I might have some good news for us.
What's that?
I think I might have found our new hero on the House Ways and Means Committee.
Really? Who is it? I thought that was J.D. Prescott already.
Well, we like J.D., but I found he needs a teammate.
He needs a wingman?
He needs a running mate.
Okay.
Right? And I was perusing through, by the way, it's Kendall Casey show. I'm Rob Casey's here. We spent some of the first hour talking about that complete abomination of a property tax hearing yesterday. We now yearn for the good old days of Senate Bill 1, Casey.
Right.
That's how bad this House Bill 1402 that Jeff Thompson, who sounded like a look, if you had taken a man from the country of China, put him on a boat, made him dock, take a rental car to the Indiana State House, and then proceed to, not that Kevin would know, but is it take? Is it drop? Is it, what do the children call LSD? What is it?
According to my research, people say drop.
Drop. If you had taken a man from China, put him on a large boat, docked on the West Coast, then proceeded to give him a rental car, have him drive to the Indiana Assembly, drop some LSD, and then enter the House chamber and speak to the committee, they would have been more coherent than Jeff Thompson was. A man speaking Chinese on LSD would have been more coherent than Jeff Thompson was yesterday.
Who's our hero, though?
Well, I was looking through who's on Ways and Means because I was thinking, like, who else can we sway? Because you and I were chatting about how genuinely stupid Cherish Pryor and Greg Porter sound on a consistent basis in these hearings. I mean, you would just like Ed Delaney's a Democrat. No, we're not picking on them because they're Democrats. Ed Delaney's a Democrat who while I disagree with him, he appears to ask good questions.
He does. He does ask good questions.
He appears to have done some sort of research. He knows what's going on. Occasionally makes really good points. You're like, okay, I don't agree with him on a lot of stuff, but he appears to be Cherish Pryor and Greg Porter. Like, are you trying? Are you putting any effort in whatsoever? There was always that kid in class who you knew.
They're just asking questions to hear themselves talk.
Okay, so I'm looking through. It's like, who can we get to stand up with JD? Because, the problem with JD is JD's very nice and very intelligent, and he knows the stuff. He's just not confrontational enough. Like, do we have the clip of how he asked Thompson after Thompson sounded less coherent than the man speaking Chinese on LSD?
He was too nice.
Yeah. Do we have how JD? That's how. Listen to how we're phrasing it, Casey. That's how somebody needed to phrase that to Jeff Thompson. Someone needed to look at Jeff Thompson and say, "Sir, you sound like a Chinese speaking man on LSD." JD kind of tried to make that point, but listen to how nice he was about it.
Yeah. It's fun trying to follow your mind as you're walking through these and explaining things. I know you've spent a lot of time in this topic. And
okay, see, he's too nice.
He's trying to be nice. Yeah. I know you spent some time.
So we need a real firebrand. And I was like, who could be our guy? And then I realized Bob Heaton is on Ways and Means.
Okay.
Now, who is Bob Heaton, you might ask?
Right.
Bob Heaton is, and I can say this, my family is from Terre Haute.
Yeah.
Is a legendary figure in the city of Terre Haute because he was on the great Indiana State basketball team in 1978-79 with Larry Bird that went all the way to the national championship game, an undefeated season into the national championship game. And Bob Heaton is a hero because not only did he hit the legendary shot against, was it New Mexico State, to keep them undefeated, a great half-court shot in the regular season. I think it made him 18-0 at the time or something like that. But he also hit the shot against Arkansas in the regional final that sent them to the Final Four. Bob Heaton has a flair for the dramatics. Bob Heaton is a leader. We need Bob Heaton. I'm challenging right now. Bob Heaton in the name. I'm challenging 2025 Bob Heaton to channel 1979 Bob Heaton and step up and be the same guy that hit that shot against Arkansas and lead for us on property taxes.
Yeah. Okay. I wonder how he feels about the whole property tax debate. He was not very vocal in the hearing yesterday.
No, but maybe he's plotting. Just like in 1979.
He's coming up with his X's and O's.
He wasn't the best player on the team, but he knew his moment against Arkansas. And he said, give me that freaking ball.
Give me the ball. Right.
The hoop.
Well, okay, so the one thing that you have to consider about everything that's going on is that Governor Braun's proposal was 46 pages long. The Senate Bill 1 was 91 pages long.
Yes, it keeps getting longer.
Thompson's proposal, 228 pages long. And when he started yesterday, it was very clear what he thinks about all of this. And he's explaining that to him, the most important part of the bill is what local governments need.
But I might start what I think is the most important part of this bill, and that is trying to fix this issue right here, because it affects what local governments do. And if that is 1%, tabletop here, if we're down here below that, and you raise the rate, people pay more, and you lower the rate, they pay less. If you're paying less than 1% for a homeowner, I should say. Is that right? If you're up here, here's what happens now. If there's 1%, you raise the rate, people, what? They pay no more, do they? You lower the rate, they pay no less, do they? But here's what happens. If you raise the rate, I get more dollars for my unit, and the other units lose. Isn't that right? And if
I don't know. Is it right?
Kev, you ever heard a man speak Chinese on LSD?
I've come across a couple characters like that.
It's ridiculous. And this is a guy, this was the worst guy possible. And did I not say this in the lead up to this? Did I not say this was how it was going to go? That this is the worst guy possible? You don't need somebody who thinks they're smart delivering this message. And it is amazing how so many of these people in public service cannot speak. They cannot articulate. What he should have done, I mean, the problem is there was no lead to bury because that homestead deduction is garbage. He knows it's garbage.
A decrease in the increase?
Right. But you got to explain this. And this was the takeaway from the whole thing is the tax code on property tax is unfixable at this point. Unless you're willing to say that we are going to get these local governments in line, which they're clearly not willing to do, you cannot have both sides, quote unquote, win in this. You cannot have that. The system is too complex. And that's why the Braun bill was so good. The Braun bill was fine. It was simple. Reset the rates. We're going to curb the referendums. We're going to make that more fair, the referendum process. And we're going to cap growth. It's very simple.
You can understand it.
When Braun articulates it, it's fine. It's a 46-page bill, but he doesn't talk like a 46-page bill. This man was talking like a 200-page bill. And people were watching that, and the public were looking at that, and even people who know. I have cut tax rates, Casey. I know how this game is played. I know how it works. I did it better than any person has ever done, any municipal legislator in the history of the state. 18.5% in 4 years. I know how to do it. And I was watching that going, I don't understand you, sir.
You see, you texted me. I'm trying. I'm really, really trying.
I mean, if I had been able to maybe look at it on paper while it was maybe, no, but probably not. And so if I'm not getting it, and we're going to talk to Nikki Kelly next to see if she got it. She's covered the thing for 25 years. And the other people who I talked to, by the way, my guy, my buddy, who shall remain nameless, who helped me debunk the original Braun plan, who really knows, he's an old-time newspaper reporter, not in the game anymore.
Yeah, he agreed. It's going to involve increases in homeowner property taxes.
Yeah.
So we need to remind everybody about the property tax rally. Here's the game plan. It's Monday, March 17th, 1 p.m. inside the State House. Wear green. That is St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
We've got Jason Hammer from the #1 rated Hammer and Nigel show. He's going to be our MC.
How much do we have to pay for him?
He's free because he cares about our listeners as well.
How exciting.
Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith is going to speak. We've got J.D. Prescott who's going to speak, Representative Craig Haggard, Representative Andrew Ireland, a few other people. You and I are going to be there. There's a potential of a very special guest who will be joining us, and we're going to have a good time, and we want you involved. So plan on it.
And now I want to get Bob Heaton. Now I know Bob Heaton's on that. Because the problem is when you watch that thing, they look like little ants.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to read if you're watching on a computer. Maybe you blew it up on a TV. I didn't even know he was on that committee. Now
you do.
Now.
And you're calling for the assist.
I'm going to let you I see what you did there. So Nikki Kelly's going to join us. We got the we'll talk to her, see if she can understand the property tax bill. We kind of buried yesterday. The school board bill went forward. There were some changes made to it that were somewhat significant, but it keeps the general structure in place. We'll get you up to date on that and a whole bunch more.
It is Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
In purgatory, tortured souls lie trapped somewhere between heaven and you know where. This is where we find ourselves, trapped somewhere between winter and spring, tortured by strange weather patterns.
As the weather worsens,
cold, snow, and ice.
These temperatures,
then thaw, rain, and flood. Let us be your guide through all stages of
spring,
winter, your severe winter,
spring,
and spring weather station, 93 WIBC.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. That's 800-883-3024.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. Call 800-970-3355. 800-970-3355. 800-970-3355.
I'll say this. There are no entries in the Hoops Fan Hall of Fame who didn't show up to the game. Yes, you in the back.
Professor, March Madness is coming to Indianapolis. Are we ready?
You prepared to bring the fire? Give it 110 from tip to the final buzzer? Oh, you're ready. The NCAA Sweet 16 and Elite 8, March 28th and 30th in Indianapolis. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/MVB tickets. Class dismissed.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours, give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today, 317-480-4040. That's 317-480-4040.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Call today or visit bwindow.com. This month only, receive $400 off per window, $850 off per patio or entry door with 2.99% financing.
The screen door slams, Mary's dress waves. Like a vision, she dances across.
Well, Casey, it's good to know we're not the only people in the world that had no idea what Jeff Thompson was talking about yesterday in that property tax.
Can I tell you something, Rob?
Yes.
I woke up exhausted this morning, and I'm blaming it all on that Ways and Means Committee hearing.
Well, the description for the day is a man speaking Chinese on LSD would have made more sense to the average person. But let's find out if a trained professional, if she got the gist. One of the best in the business, you know her from the Indiana Capital Chronicle, Nikki Kelly. Okay, Nikki Kelly, I give it to you. What did he say yesterday?
I want to say I woke up exhausted today too, but also, yeah, I've had a few more of those hearings under my belt than you guys. But yeah, it was complicated stuff, even for someone who has been involved in the property tax system like me. I've been covering it since they had to rewrite it when it was found unconstitutional. So even for me, it was hard to follow along, and and not only hard to follow along, but how each thing would then interplay with each other. And so it was a pretty massive bill. And I think we even said in our story today, if you look at how complicated it's getting, it's growing. Governor Braun's bill was like 50 pages. Then the next bill was like 100 some, and now this one's up to like 200 something. So that's as complicated as it's getting as we're going on.
Casey and I got into this earlier, and whatever your opinion on the property tax, whether you want the resets, whether you don't, whether you like, the idea of changing the system or you don't, our government shouldn't be this complex to understand. There's no way any regular person, other than people like maybe these lawmakers, although they didn't appear to understand it, someone like you who's covered it for 25 plus years. I mean, very few people understand what's going on. Our government shouldn't work that way.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. Even I have to admit that it's gotten everything about it is so complicated and affects every other little thing. I think if everyone had their druthers, trying to create a new system from scratch would be the way to do it. But then you're impacting everyone, and wow, that would be rough.
Do you have any idea where they're going with this? Because usually you can read some tea leaves. I have no idea based on what he said yesterday versus what was in Senate Bill 1 versus what the governor wants. I have no idea where this is ending up. What say you?
I don't know that they know. And usually, and I'm just being honest, I think they're feeling their way through this and trying to find something. A lot of times we all know that where they're going and what they're going to do. But I think this one they are struggling with, and they're trying to give some sort of real relief, but also, not impact services. And I think they don't know exactly where they're going to end up. And that's, not very often you can say in the legislative process. Usually you know generally where it's going. And this one is it's just very hard for them to settle on something.
Nikki Kelly from Indiana Capital Chronicle is with us. And my question for you, I guess, is what are you doing at the end of April and May? Because I heard multiple times them refer to this is going to require multiple sessions, special session, or are we talking about in the fall? Because I don't think they're walking away with the bill at the end of this session.
I think they'll walk away with a bill that does something and say that, and when they say multiple sessions, they don't mean special sessions. They mean we'll do a little bit this time and then we'll come back next year and add a little to that and add a little to that.
Nikki Kelly, our guest from the Indiana Capital Chronicle. All right, so some other stuff went on yesterday. You guys have a big article up at the Capital Chronicle about this. So that bill that would make school board elections sort of make them like other elections now, based on the changes yesterday. The committee did move forward with the put your party affiliation to run for school board. However, they took out the primary aspect that the Senate bill had. So now what? It's just you go to the general election and then you have to declare?
Yeah, so you wouldn't run through a primary like you would normally, but when you could either say Republican, Libertarian, Democrat, you could even put nonpartisan next to your name, but or independent, I guess. So, but something would be next to your name on the general election ballot.
So it was 8-5, so it was close. And do you get a feel for this now as it goes to the full House? I mean, Prescott felt pretty good about it. He told us on the air a couple weeks ago. They went with the Senate bill because he said, well, I actually think it may be a better bill, but now they're back to basically his original bill. You get any feel for this about where this is going when it goes to the full House?
I think we're going to be in the same spot because it's going to be the same bill. They're going to come out. People are going to file the same amendments they filed in the first half that we avoided the bill on. So, I think it will probably pass. I think it definitely has a better shot without the primary than it does with the primary.
Is some of the hot ticket bills having so much uncertainty? What do you relate that to? Because usually on these hot ticket items, if they move forward, whether it's property taxes or the school board bill this time, they got their ducks in a row. Is this because there's a new governor? What do you relate much of this uncertainty to that we normally don't see on these hot ticket items?
Well, I mean, the partisan school board bill has struggled for several years, so I'm not really surprised with that. It's not a priority bill, so it's not something that they're going to grease through. And that's one that honestly is just, it's not even really partisan, really. Some Republicans I know don't like it. Some Democrats I know do. So it's kind of a little bit all over the place on that one. Property taxes is honestly just the craziness of it and trying to please all sides. But I think most of them are going as expected. What they're doing now is they're having a lot of conversations behind the scenes so they can get a bill exactly where they want it, and they're trying to basically avoid conference committees. So they're trying to get it to where the other side would then concur.
Yeah, because obviously that's a last-minute thing, and anything can happen when it goes to the conference committee. All right, a couple minutes left with Nikki Kelly. You guys covered this, and then I saw you kind of had a little back and forth with Micah about this yesterday. This inmate, this judge ordering the Department of Corrections to give this inmate this gender-affirming care. Rokita's got in on this now. What's going on with this?
Yeah, I think that was actually just today. Micah posted on X that he thinks the DOC should ignore the ruling. I simply noticed that, I quote tweeted it and said, hey, this is your Republican lieutenant governor saying you should ignore a federal court ruling. And so I think, I'm going to be kind of crazy here and say no matter whether you like or dislike a judge or court ruling, I think part of our society exists because we follow them, and I hear a lot of stuff about the rule of law, and that's a branch. So I don't know personally much about that individual case. I'm going to assume if I looked into it, I'd have to see something that the judge is ruling on. But I get why it's outrageous when people hear it. But I would have to look more in depth into the actual case to see why the judge is ruling that way.
Well, Rokita got pretty vocal about it too. Speaking of Rokita,
absolutely,
he's awfully out there for a guy whose law license and potential career hangs in the balance, isn't he? I mean, he's not pulling back on the throttle.
He
at
will
all.
not go quietly into the night.
No, he will not. I mean, I think at this point he's decided whatever. No matter what I do, they're coming after me. So I'm just going to continue doing my thing and fight it if people file more rulings. But I mean, that is a problem though for him as an attorney. Again, there are different rules for an attorney, and if he wants his law license, I don't think you can ignore a court ruling. So, I mean, that's kind of going to get you in hot water, way more hot water than any of the smaller stuff that we've talked about with him so far, with him, saying things or, putting out a press release where he's defiant. I mean, if he actually, and the Attorney General's office actually ignored a court ruling, I think that would be pretty rough.
Yeah, well, look, I've said this many times. You guys, I think, have become, in terms of the volume of things that go on at the State House or in Indiana politics and government, sort of like the premier in terms of just coverage. I think you guys are probably the best at this now. So basically, like half our show is thanks to you guys. So thanks for all you do, Nikki Kelly. You're the best.
Feel free to give to the nonprofit, Rob.
How do we do that? How do people do that?
you can go to our website, IndianaCapitalChronicle.com, and there's a donation button.
Now, wait a second. I'm going to say something here. You guys wrote an article about what Thompson said yesterday in the hearing, and you had a little box in the article about the property tax rally coming up on Monday.
Yeah.
There was zero credit given to Kendall and Casey.
Oh, well, I mean, it was 2 sentences. Sorry, we didn't write a whole story about it. It just said
Well, yeah, now that you're here, Nikki, do you want a speaking role in the property tax rally on Monday? We can put you
Will
right
you be
up
there covering it?
I will pass.
Nikki Kelly, thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
Have a good one. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
We don't have fair trade. We have stupid trade. You have a sunny sky and it's 50 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. 76 is your high today. I'm Ryan Hedrick for Window Nation. Here's what's trending at 10:30. That was the message from President Donald Trump after days of tough tariff talks with other countries. Fox's Peter Ducey reports on a new tariff announced against Europe in response to the tariff placed on U.S. whiskey.
If this tariff is not reversed immediately, the U.S. will shortly place a 200% tariff on all wines, champagnes, and alcoholic products coming out of France and other EU-represented countries. This will be great for the wine and champagne businesses in the U.S.
EU wine experts to the U.S. totaled approximately $5.5 billion last year. Indianapolis will conduct another full test of tornado sirens on Friday after the system failed to activate during a drill earlier this week. This test will come hours before severe weather moves across the state, says forecaster Cody Moore at the National Weather Service.
The highest threat is along the west of I-65 for all modes of severe weather, but damaging winds above 60 to 70 miles per hour, that's going to be the most common threat.
And Moore says winds could gust up to 70 miles an hour Friday into Saturday morning. Coverage of IU basketball starts at 11 right here on 93 WIBC. The Hoosiers are in the Big Ten tournament and taking on number 23 Oregon. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
The deals and specials are sizzling hot. It's the Central Indiana Gun and Knife Show this Saturday and Sunday at the Boone County Fairgrounds in Lebanon. The best dealers in the region. Hundreds of tables. Just $6 for adults. Kids 12 and under get in free. Must be 18 or accompanied by an adult. Buy, sell, trade. This Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Boone County Fairgrounds in Lebanon. For more info, visit centralindianagunshows.com.
Hammer and Nigel here for Window Nation. Winters are long here in the area, and if you're tired of seeing and feeling that winter weather coming in past your old windows like I was, you need Window Nation. Their high-quality, energy-efficient windows will get rid of those drafts to keep your costly heat inside, lower your monthly utility bills, and keep your home comfortable year-round. And they're affordable, too. Right now, get 2 windows free for every 2 you buy. Plus, with 0 down and no payments or interest for 2 years, you could get new windows installed in 1 day and not pay anything until 2027.
Imagine what you could do with all that extra money in your pocket. Plus, they're guaranteed for life. Don't miss out on your chance to take advantage of the buy 2, get 2 for free promotion, and you don't pay anything until 2027. Schedule your fast, free estimate right now at 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
We all have people in our lives we interact with. Maybe it's your favorite barista, a neighbor who waves to you every morning, a coworker you grab lunch with, or maybe it's me, the hairstylist you've gone to for years. What if you learned I had a substance use disorder? Would it change how you see me? It's okay to see the addiction, but when you choose to see the person, not just their disease, it can help change someone's life. Learn more at cbeyondtheaddiction.org.
Welcome to Tire Discounters.
Thanks. I gotta warn you, I drive a hard bargain.
Okay.
So let's hear your first offer.
Well, how about, with any 4-tire purchase, we'll give you a free alignment.
Man, I'm good. All right, let's do it before you change your mind.
And we'll also give you a free oil change.
Ha! I can't believe I talked you into this deal. Sometimes I amaze even myself.
Don't tell accounting. But with any 4-tire purchase at Tire Discounters, you get a free alignment and a free full synthetic oil change. See store for details.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIPC.
Oh boy, Casey.
Yeah.
We have a big announcement.
Super exciting.
Our big announcement has come true.
Are we gonna announce it now?
No.
We're gonna wait.
Wait till tomorrow.
Okay.
Why would we give it away now? We've only got 30 minutes left in this program
That's
today.
true. We want to wait. So first thing tomorrow,
I don't know.
we'll drag it out
Seems
like we always
maybe
do.
you have to tune in the whole show.
Right.
We could have a short show tomorrow too. You know, if IU wins
If IU
today.
wins, yeah. I'll have to keep that in mind tonight when I'm doing the template for tomorrow.
Sweet Kylan is out. She's filling in as Tony's producer today, and she's out in the hall, and she's so nice, and she's like, yeah, so short day for you. And I said, yeah, I'm really just putting in minimal effort. And she just kind of goes, oh, so, same as always.
Same as always. She knows you so well.
She's so nice. Okay, so we'll have the big announcement tomorrow, which will be great, as related to our big property tax rally on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm super excited about this.
I'd like to point out, too, we want to say this because we obviously been the kind of the face of the thing. By the way, did you see the State Affairs article where it's basically they declared it Micah's event, and then they're like, and those chuckleheads from WIBC. Oh, okay, thank you. But really, Micah's people have put in, your husband and Aaron and the people that work for Micah have put a lot of work in to getting the organization behind this thing. And they have just really, really worked very hard to make this event possible for you. This is not a simple thing to do.
Well, and it's more than just a bunch of people coming together, walking outside the State House with signs.
Right.
I mean, we have people speaking.
Yeah.
We put some thought into this.
Yeah, so there are a lot of people behind the scenes, and we'll talk at the rally about it, but I wanted to put that out there about how hard they have worked. Don't come to this thing. People have put a lot of effort into this to give you this voice, give you this one opportunity. This is your chance. And look, we do this because, it's our job. I mean, I would do it anyway, but it's our job, right? But there's a lot of people who have gone above and beyond on their jobs to make this happen for you to have this opportunity. Don't waste it. It's a one-time opportunity, and we have that big announcement tomorrow. You'll see even more of this coming into place, and you can move the needle Monday. You can. Now, we're not going to promise you that, you're going to get everything you want if you show up Monday. We're not going to lie to you or insult you. But we heard from guys like Andrew Ireland. We heard from Micah that this thing is all in play, right? This thing is still very much a fluid thing. Take away the ridiculous thing that happened yesterday with the Jeff Thompson sounding like a Chinese man on LSD. And I just say that now because Kevin laughs every single time I say that.
He likes that comparison.
Kevin's like, how did you come up with that? I said, well, just take the most ridiculous things you can imagine. That's good comedy, right? And just present them as reality. Anyway, speaking of the Chinese man on LSD and his plan, do we have a clip, the testimony yesterday? They were talking about the townships and how much money the townships have.
Yes, because you've been talking about this for a while, saying, why do these townships exist? And they have all of this money, and it's just sitting there. And sure enough, it came out yesterday exactly how much money the townships across the state have.
Estimating it's in the 300 million range.
Statewide.
Pardon? Yes, statewide. Yes.
And if you...
I know the number of 700 plus has been thrown out around, but that includes bond revenue.
Pause. This is important because remember, they got all lippy with us about the 700 million sitting in there. So now they don't dispute it. Remember, initially, this is always the way it goes down. Oh, the shock jock, the radio guy, he's making it up. Okay, he's making it up. Now they've admitted, no, his number's right. They backpedaled out of that, as usual, right? Now their whole thing is, well, some of that is allocated to bonding. So she's admitting there's, okay, fine. I don't agree that there's $400 million committed to bonding, but let's just give you everything you said. You're still admitting there's $300 million sitting there with no use.
Right.
No use. Think about the property tax relief that would provide. Go.
Revenue, debt service funds, employee withholding fund. I mean, it's everything, but a lot of it is already obligated.
So you're saying $700 million includes obligated funds?
That's right.
Funds that are being held.
They act like they're not getting any more money. So the $700 million, well, but there's obligation. Oh, so you're not getting any more money anymore? There's no more money flowing in? These people are ridiculous. They're ridiculous. That money, see, this is why I don't give her credit for that, because you're still getting revenue that's coming in. It's not like that's the last revenue you'll ever have. You're still getting money coming in. Go ahead.
For things such as debt service.
Yes.
Why do townships need debt service?
Well, examples have been given in testimony here from cities and towns that when you're looking at a piece of apparatus, it could be well over $1 million. And if you are the provider of fire service, we have to remember that in some parts of the state, there is no local government other than the township.
Pause. So you know what the obvious explanation here is? In these rural counties, you go to county-wide fire departments, right? I mean, they act like this is the only way. It's always the doomsday scenario. Oh, and if that doesn't work, show me how. I keep hearing, well, that isn't going to work. Okay, why not? Why not? I mean, I'm not saying in a city like Indianapolis that the city can't have a fire department, but I'm saying in these rural areas where these people are doing, like, how, and by the way, how often does a building actually burn down? How often is, and I'm not disputing, firefighters are great, they're brave, they're wonderful people, and I'm in no way indicting firemen or firewomen or the people who do this. I know they'd run through a burning building in a heartbeat, but how often aren't most of the runs we see these days for the fire department related to ambulatory matters anyway?
Right, heart attacks.
And and I'm not disputing the work they're doing, or they would show up and their skill set. I'm not doing that, but that's utterly ridiculous when they talk about the apparatus, the machine. How often does that fire truck in your community actually ever get used in a fire? I would love to know in the average community, and maybe I'll try to find this. They love me so much over Brownsburg, they'll probably give me this information right away. Like, how many actual fires were there that would require, hey, we had to bring everything? I'm not disputing that there's occasionally these super fires, like the one in Plainfield a couple of years ago at the Walmart. But I'm asking, how often does this actually happen, and what would happen if all the townships just went another year before they bought a new engine, or 2 years before they bought a new engine? Like, what would happen?
Well, I mean, that's it. Extend the life of the apparatus.
All right, okay. Did you hear Buttigieg? There was breaking news on Buttigieg.
Yeah, he said he's not going to run for Senate in Michigan.
My friend Adam Wren from Politico in Importantville reported that. And so obviously Buttigieg is not getting a real job. So that I think we can now say he's going to run for president of the United States. That was the question, was, is he going to run for Senate? This is actually a huge win for the Republicans because people were super worried. They see that Michigan seat as one they can win. And they were worried about Buttigieg kind of being pick number one for the people of Michigan, for the Democrats.
I have another option. He's either going to run for president or he's going to run for governor, and Whitmer is going to run for Senate. Like, they may flip-flop.
Oh, that's also that. Well, that's interesting. That I didn't think about that.
I mean, I think that's the sole reason he moved to Michigan, because he knew she's term limited.
Could she win, given how gross she was during the election and all the people she honked off?
What, a Senate run?
Could she win another
Michigan?
statewide race, given how she's behaved?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's your territory. You lived up there.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people, especially in the Detroit area and Grand Rapids, who love her. Grand Rapids is very blue, so as much of the Detroit area. It's when you get up past northern Michigan that it becomes much more conservative.
She seemed to really alienate people, though, with how she behaved during the election. The thing with the Dorito and all, like, I don't know that.
Yeah, that stuff may come back and haunt her.
All right, Hammer's going to join us next, and then it's IU basketball.
Yep, it is. Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel's show, 3:06 this afternoon. Big Nige is back. Rob Kendall, off the rails on property taxes. The biggest stories in Indy. Let's go!
Transform your home with Galaxy Concrete Coatings. Say goodbye to cracked, stained floors and hello to durable, stunning surfaces that last. Their cutting-edge technology ensures a beautiful finish every time, and you get to pick out from their many colors. Upgrade your home today like I did. Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They're for garage floors, driveways, pool decks, and patios. They come with a lifetime warranty and one-day professional installation. Call now for a free estimate. 877-417-0635. They're also online at galaxyconcretecoatings.com.
Hi, I'm Charlie Comer from Comer & Cross Premium Garage Floor Coatings. When your garage floor has stains, cracks, and pits, it makes your whole garage look bad. And a bad epoxy job looks even worse. Look, spring will be here on March 20th. For your best price of the year on your new garage floor, basement, or patio and installation this spring, please call me now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Guaranteed, a Comer & Cross concrete floor coating won't chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. In one day, we make it so easy. We move your stuff out for you. We fix the cracks and pits perfectly. And apply your gleaming new Comer & Cross concrete floor in 6 stages, just in time for spring. For your best price of the year on your new garage floor, basement, or patio and installation by spring, please call me now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to comercross.com.
This is a special notice to all U.S. taxpayers with back taxes to the IRS. Billions in tax relief is now being made available to struggling taxpayers, giving thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars in savings away to those who qualify. If you're facing wage garnishment, threatening letters, audits, liens, levies, or already in a payment plan, you can now expedite the resolution to your tax problem, end collections, and even qualify to reduce a large portion of what you owe. Stop IRS Debt has established a relief hotline for you to call to check what savings and options you qualify for. Dial 800-518-9137. With many people facing job loss and rising cost of living, these special IRS initiatives are designed to aid delinquent taxpayers with the relief that they need to get a fresh start. For a free consultation to see what savings you qualify for, call 800-518-9137. 800-518-9137. 800-518-9137.
Enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season. I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy. Text ENERGY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text ENRGY to 42424. That's ENERGY to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
During tax season, your info travels lots of places you can't control.
W-2 arriving from payroll platform 3.
Everything criminals need to steal your identity is on your W-2.
Last call for accountant and home office, 1 minute.
LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second.
Tax preparation data centers with service to IRS. All aboard.
If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
That's are us. When dreams sunk in, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 765-545-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams sunk in, that's are us.
Thinning hair? This year, grow your hair back like I did. Call 317-522-2995 or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com.
Kendall and Casey.
I'm a young, up-and-coming professional. We are people who want to work. We want to engage. We don't want to be freeloaders. And yet, it makes it very hard for young people to actually do that.
Kendall and Casey, 9 till noon on 93 WIBC.
I think you're being way too strict with the rules. I've been very lackadaisical on the betting rules with you over the years, and now this is like the third time I've asked you to declare me the winner of this bet, and you will not do it.
Because you have not won the bet.
So on the sports betting show, Degenerates Next Door, new podcast will come out later today. All the basketball stuff. My Let's Get Nuts bet this week. It's the TPC at Sawgrass Players Championship.
Yeah. A little golf.
Yeah, golf. It's one of the. It would be the fifth major if they had a fifth major. It has a 17th hole, one of the most famous holes in the world. It's a short little par 3. It's surrounded by water. It's fun to watch these pros just take a dump in their pants when they get up there in this easy little hole.
Yeah.
And you could bet, will there be a hole in one at the 17th at Sawgrass? You get plus odds. So for Let's Get Nuts, I said, all right, I'll take the yes on the 17th at Sawgrass. Yesterday was practice round. A caddy got a hole in one. A pro got a hole in one. Hammer said, no, those don't count. It has to be during the tournament. And then today, a guy hit his first shot in the water and then holed his second shot. And I said, well, it technically was a par, but he holed out the shot. And he said that didn't count either.
No, that doesn't count. I'm with Hammer on that one.
So if I have a prop bet on Tyrese Halliburton hitting over 2.5 3-pointers, and I tell you he hit 4 in pregame warmups, do I get to cash that ticket? And the other one was a par, did you say?
Yeah.
Hole in one. It's 3 words. One is a key part of that. It's a third of the whole phrase. It's got to be in one. It's not a hole in par.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying he holed the shot.
When's the tournament over?
Well, I got 4 days. It started today.
All right, so you still have time.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's literally like the first guys are starting. But I'm just saying, I could have won the thing already if I had if I had that same liberal judge that is letting that inmate get the sex surgery. I bet he would have given it to me.
Right.
Possibly.
Right.
All right, what are we doing? What's going on?
So we are 1 week away from the first real day of March Madness.
You're Jason Hammer, by the way. I should point out, from the Hammer and Nigel show. I didn't introduce you yet.
1 week away from the first real day. I don't count Dayton as the first days of the tournament.
Thank you.
It's play-in round,
right? That's just stuff made up to make money.
But Hammer and Nigel Records Madness Tournament's been going on for a couple days now, and the matchup that's going on right now, which you can vote for at our Facebook and Twitter, Hammer and Nigel, just find us. It's the 15 seed. It's a song that was a late entry. It's a song we debuted on your show.
Oh, it's going to be good then.
Great.
And it's got long odds because it's going against one of the juggernauts in this tournament, but it's topical. So with all of these wishy-washy Republicans screwing you on property taxes, I put together a little Garth Brooks-inspired tribute.
Oh, yeah.
Rob and Stephanie from Greenwood, they lived in the same house for 27 years, and since 2021, their property tax bill has more than doubled.
I spent last night inside my home in Indiana. Even though it's all paid off, my taxes still go up. True. The GOP that acted concerned in the election. Oh, yeah. Promised relief, and then they kicked me in the nuts, calling lying dudes.
You are a liar! No, I'm not!
Hey, Kevin, won't you put me on through? Gonna call one of these lying dudes. Hurry up, put me on the line. I want to hear this weasel tell more lies.
All lies!
You sit on a throne of lies.
That's a lie.
Liar!
He's a liar.
Here too.
Liar!
That was a lie, pal. He's a liar.
You lying snake!
Stretching the truth.
Said it in the house.
You're a thief! You're a liar!
I lied about that too.
You are a bald-faced liar.
Hello, Scott Baldwin, sir. I hope you're doing fine. Screwing taxpayers right in there behind. You're bought and you are paid for, right down to your last dime. Everybody, come on.
Calling lying dudes. Don't lie. You lie. You're a liar. Well, you're a liar, too. You liar!
One more time. Here we go. Hey, Kevin, won't you put me on through? Gonna call up one of these lying dudes. Hurry up, put me on the line. I want to hear this weasel tell more lies.
You're a liar! Biggest liar. I lied. It's for me.
Calling lying dudes.
You're a rotten liar. Liar?
These lying dudes.
Pathological liar. Fucking hate liars.
You will get screwed. Oh, yeah.
You're You're a liar. You're a liar.
You f***ed up. You trusted us.
I love the guy that was criticizing your singing yesterday.
Yeah. So there's a guy in the YouTube chat that said, my singing is so bad, he couldn't even recognize what song that was.
Oh, you have a voice of an angel.
What's the other one? What are we?
Hold on. The name of the song is Callin' Lion Dudes,
Right.
which is a parody of Callin' Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
There's a fiddle at the beginning. You couldn't figure out what song it was. Anyway, it's going against a song that I think can win this whole thing.
Oh, boy.
It's a lot of people's choice to be the number 1 seed, although it's a number 2 seed. This is back when Hunter Biden was addicted to blow. He was on this Ukrainian gas board. Joe Biden tried to get all this money funneled into his bank account, fired the prosecutor looking at him. I was listening to a little Cypress Hill a number of years ago when this came our way.
Who you trying to mess with, Esse? Don't you know who my daddy is?
That Hunter Biden was trading on his father's office to make 50 grand a month from the Ukrainians.
Tucker
In
Carlson
October, he
cameo.
admitted it.
Son of Joe Biden, and boy, it's tough. I put the crack in the pipe and smoke it up. I like every day I'm tweaking, laptop leaking, pictures of me on a cocaine bender. Quick Pro Joe got me working in the Ukraine gas company directing. The only thing I know about gas, you can huff it. Now I got 50K a month in my pocket. Board of directors, charisma, I'm smashing. My dead brother's widow, impregnate a stripper. But nothing is better than crack cocaine when you're rich and famous in the Ukraine. Cocaine in the Ukraine.
Cocaine in Ukraine.
Cocaine in the Ukraine.
Cocaine straight to the brain.
Cocaine in the Ukraine.
Cocaine in Ukraine.
Cocaine in the Ukraine.
Cocaine straight to the brain.
Little Cypress Hill tribute for Hunter Biden.
That's some
there.
good production.
What's coming up for you? I mean, we're done today, so what's coming up for you?
So we are going to have you on to go off the rails, your official hit. Representative Andrew Ireland in studio with us.
Nice.
And, man, we're going to have a lot of fun.
All right. Thank you, Hammer. You're listening to Kendall and Casey. This is 93 WIBC. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
When is the right time to file for Social Security? Well, that's a difficult decision today. You have to consider that Social Security is running out of money. You also need to consider the tax hit on your benefits and your IRA and 401k withdrawals. And finally, you should consider your spousal benefits. If you don't consider all these things, you could leave a lot of money on the table.
Bill Demery, your retirement guy. He's going to show you how you could get the most income from Social Security with a free